What's good? What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Candid Convos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. But man, I got a question for y'all, man, just based on something I've been seeing, man. Yeah, for all the folks who trying to be in a relationship out here or trying to find somebody, whose advice is more important? The people that are married or the people that are single? Yeah, I've been seeing this going around on social media, man, and I'm trying to understand it, man. If I see the single folks saying that they don't want to take advice from the married folks, I see the married folks saying that the single folks need to stop talking because they don't know what they're talking about. So, man, somebody let me know what it is, man, because at the end of the day, all I see is a lot of single folks, especially on all these panels and these shows and these podcasts and all that. It seems like it's just a lot of single folks who don't have no relationships, who ain't never really had no successful relationships, but they trying to give everybody the advice on what they should be doing when it comes to relationships. So I'm trying to understand something, man. So y'all let me know in the comments, man. Whose advice are you taking? The person that's single or the person that's married, man? Let me know in the comments.
I love this question because it is such a hot topic online right now. Make sure you hit the like button, share, subscribe. You're watching Marjorie with Purpose. Let's get into this fire discussion. As a married woman, I would say if I want advice about being married, I would go to another married person, another married couple. If I were single and I wanted to be married, I would talk to married people who are happily married. If I am single and I don't want to be married, I would only talk to single people who are happily single. If I'm married but I want to be single, I would only talk to, again, married. I would only talk to single people who are happily single. So my answer to this is it depends on what your desires are, what you're expecting. Shout out to Candid Convos for this discussion because I think it's something that needs to be discussed because he's absolutely right. All you see online are dating coaches who are not married. More those outweigh the counselors and the couples coaches that are married. And I'm so curious to understand why. But I can see kind of why, because as a married person you don't technically have to navigate dating, right? So if you're married, you're not really seeing what the dating market is like as a married person, you don't really know what what it's like right now. You don't really know the temperature of dating in this moment. So I understand. I get it, because when you're married, you're not technically navigating dating. But I'm so curious as to why people who want to be married get advice about relationships from people who are not married, have never been married, or have been in failed marriages. Because the ones who take accountability, who were in failed marriages, have no shame in saying, you know what, I made these mistakes in my first marriage, make sure you don't make these mistakes. Where they still value marriage, but they're aware that it took more work than they were initially aware of. So now those ones that are like, you know what, I made these mistakes, um, give better advice. The ones who hold themselves accountable realize what they did wrong in their relationships. But yeah, just as a married woman, I've also been in the dating market very young, though. I was very young before I got married. I got married at 19, but nonetheless, I was still out there in the streets for a very small amount of time, but I was out there. And I don't think it's changed that much. Maybe the way people communicate with each other, maybe the way people view marriage has changed. It's not as valued the way it used to be, even when I was younger. But I don't think human beings change as much as we think. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So I think it just depends on what each individual's desires are based, what your desires are will determine who you feel like is giving good advice. Because if you want to be happily single, I would imagine you would speak to people who are happily single. If you no longer want to be married, you're going to talk to people who convince you that being married is not worth your time. If you desire to be married, you would talk to people who are happily married. So it all depends on your desires and who you talk to. But it frustrates me to hear people who have never been married or who have not been successfully married give advice on how to have successful relationships. But it doesn't mean that the information or the advice they give is useless. So who knows? I think it varies by individual and individual perspective more so than situational. You know what I mean? Right. I think it's more about the individual's perspective, their belief system, their values, more so than whether they're married or not. That's just my thought. I don't know. Let me know what you think. What you believe is more valuable advice from a single person or advice from a married person. But that's my thought about it. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. And I'm going to go straight to Fat Joe. Fat Joe. He goes on a rant, says social media ruined dating. Let's listen to his rant. Why is my thing doing this? Do I have too much stuff open? Good grief. Okay.
Media ruin love. Social media ruin love.
Yeah.
Because yes, my moms and pops, they never had us. No, they ain't tampered. They ruined love. My moms and pops ain't have a fucking dollar, and they was together for 50-something years. And
excuse the foul language.
No matter what fucked up he did or whatever the case may be, they worked this out.
Pops was around before electricity. It was barely big about social media.
What I'm saying is, thank God we come up at a time where it wasn't social media because they force you to leave your partner now. Before you discuss with your partner now that, yo, I think this ain't working out, they throw the line on the shade room. They like, and ball on done. Fat Joe had an argument in public. It's over. And then now the pressure coming, yo, girl, that's why I never did a reality show. Because I was like, now everybody it's something you go through something with your wife or your husband. Y'all can work that out. Now it's on TV and your friend is giving her fucking advice and that, yo, I don't know about this shit. He talking like this. I'd have definitely got thrown out of my house if I had a Fat Joe show or the Carter Genius. Done deal out my house, nigga. Because I'm weird. I'm unorthodox, but my wife understand me. But if you watching on TV, you're like, fuck him. Get rid of him, girl. It don't hit
the line.
Get rid of him. Here come the line, yo. Fuck him.
I feel you on that.
But shit, everybody accustomed to their partner, certain people, certain way. You know what I'm saying? But that social media shit, it's hard for the youth.
It is.
It's a lot of pressure for the youth in every way, shape, or form.
No such thing as dating.
Huh?
No such thing as dating, like asking a girl.
They don't know how to talk to each other.
My daughter speaks about that all the time. Like,
they be right next to each other.
Sliding in the DM.
They don't know how to be cordial. Like we had to.
Safe to say it's easier for guys now. Before you had to jump out the whip and be like, hey, what's up, girl? What's going on? You had that Luther Vandross when you pull up on the whip. So once you get in the whip, that shit come, house is not on. They start to do that shit. Now they take them on a date and they on the phone right next to them like,
you want soda?
Soda? Sure. I think guys are bolder. Younger guys are bolder now through the text than they are in person.
Yeah. That could be, But you know what's crazy about it is like, the standard is like pushed because I tell my sons, I'm like, look, do not pay attention. Understand what social media is entertainment. But you got some people who actually live that. They'll look at certain people that they look up to and say, oh, she wears this. Oh, that's where they go to or whatever. I require you to take me first time You know what I'm saying? You're gonna spend about $1,000 on dinner. It's gotta be this first way before we even know each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree completely. Social media has destroyed not love, but people's standards and what dating and courting looks like. Because anybody who knows love, who knows God, knows love and knows what that really looks like. But most people are caught up in the superficial of relationships and dating, and that has no substance. I completely agree with them.
Yeah, that's true. Remember the what's that bullshit list that with places you couldn't
Don't
take?
red lobster.
Listen,
No, but listen,
every
I
last
think
one of
the
my
girls
dates,
got it
Red
better
Lobster,
now, right?
Olive
I
Garden,
think the women,
robbers,
hold on.
cheddar biscuits. Yeah, right. Hey man, listen, bro. Taco freaking Bell, bro. Like if she loves you,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We want to eat a little
Taco.
healthy.
You gotta go to you gotta Taco Bell for a date.
See, I never had
Taco
a
Bell
problem
did.
because I like to
CVS.
eat. I'm Fat Joe.
You
So I'm gonna eat steak and lobster every night, no matter what. Now, you come along for the ride, I don't give a fuck, right? But my thing is, I think the women won. Like they won. Why? Because guys,
They won.
yes,
Yeah, they won.
because the guys are like manipulators, and you're gonna get over on whoever you're gonna get over. So sometimes a girl didn't know her worth back in the day, and before she figured that shit out, you done ran through. You out of here. Now, at least now they know through Instagram. They like, yo, this is a Kelly. You want to take me out? This is a Kelly. Her mask. Go work.
Right.
Get your weight up.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? And these guys, I don't know what the fuck they doing to get the shit.
Right.
Cause it seems like everybody got a $20,000 bag on Instagram.
Man.
Welcome back to this week's episode.
It's true. Nobody got no values, no standards. It's all over the place. But that's what I want to change. I'm hoping to change the culture of dating. Even bring it back to the way it was back in the day, if not better, if not more so better. Because I think people need to get back, because even back in the day in marriages, people were just surviving. People didn't really not all, because a lot of folks stayed in relationships with abuse, because of abuse, because they had no other options. They didn't have a way out. A lot of women stayed in abusive situations. We talk, let's talk real way back in the day. We want to talk about how things used to be, and a lot of men were abusive of every race, because women weren't allowed to work. Women really didn't have rights, so they knew that she wasn't going nowhere. So not all men, I'm sure there were a lot of good men, but there were a lot of abusive men, and there were a lot of men that took advantage of the fact that Black women always worked. Black women have always worked, as far as I know, but they knew that their options were limited. So you had a lot of men that took advantage of that back in the day. So I even would like to change the perspective of dating and marriage, even from what it was back in the day, where it was like a survival mode. There wasn't real love. We're holding together for the family. We don't really like each other, but we're going to hold it together. And a lot of them stayed married for a long time with someone that they disliked or hated even. So if when I get the opportunity, I would love to change that completely. So what a man said, they some fools. I'm blessed to be an 80s baby. Amen. Amen to that. Me too. Thank the Lord for the era I grew up in. Because I was looking at Fat Joe, and I don't know who all the other people was, but who was some other people? I don't know. Because it's like they talk about the era, the music that came before them, the Isaac Hayes and the slow music, but the era that they grew up, that they put music out, it was all rough and sexual and vulgar. So it's like that ain't the music they were putting out. So I don't know. It's interesting. But I am hoping and praying that with my dating challenge, to change the perspective of dating, to allow God to be the center of your dating life from the beginning. Healthy dating, healthy marriages. That's what I'm encouraging people to learn. So join the challenge. I'm going to be posting every day for 30 days, exposing the secret truths about what kept myself and my husband married for 20 years. So please join that, hit the link and sign up. Let's go to the next thing. The next thing going on that everybody talking about. Let's go to that. Oh, I gotta reshare. I don't even know who Deontay Miller is. Deontay Wilder. I be messing up these people's names, y'all. Deontay Wilder. I guess he's a boxer. My husband showed me a clip of him a while ago, of him crying and talking to the press. But he's telling his story. Let's listen to his story and then we're gonna talk shrimp about it. Where's my...
You know what I mean? In certain situations, if it wasn't for you and you didn't ask for nothing, you didn't get a dime, I'd have spent millions on people. You know what I'm saying? Over the year, you know what I'm saying? Over the years and calculating it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then with a person that ain't got no money, they asking you for money. And then when something don't go right, what's the main thing they say? You always talking about money. Why it always got to be a money? Motherfucker, you asking me for money. That's when you go back and tell them, man, I did this for you. I did. Why it always got to be about money? Right. Say what? Why is this conversation when you come to me, it's always about money? You know, that's another thing you get tired of. But, you know, I had to go through so much. And then him and then him and one of my kids' mother. You know what I'm saying? That my ex stole over $400,000 from me. 400? Over $400,000 from me. She killed one of my childs because she couldn't get child support in the state that she was in that had a cap on it. So she wanted to move to California. See, that's where all the girls go. That's what California because them lawyers out there waiting on them, and the laws is a woman is innocent until proven guilty, and a man is guilty until proven innocent. Good luck. And don't have no money because they're gonna extort you. Yeah. You understand me? Judges and lawyers knowing each other and all that. And I'm telling you, know, and these times, motherfuckers freaking out here. They probably having sex with each other and shit and coming on and hitting your case down. You know what I mean? I done been through so much, bro. And to go through that and to have somebody that you done taken care of for years, she was a person that lost her job she'd tell everybody she was a CPA, but you was a CNA. A certified nurse assistant. That's the lowest of the low in the hospital, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But you want to tell people you certain things because you want to look a certain part that you really not. You know what I'm saying? And now you lose your job as that. You can't even wipe ass right. You done lost your job wiping somebody's ass because you ain't wipe it right. You still something. You know what I'm saying? And now you lose your job. You finna become homeless and you got two people you taking care of. So I end up getting her and moving her with me. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And helped out and all that and stuff. And this is how you repay me. Dang. I took the role of being your son's father, not just a daddy, but a father. Right. I went in so hard, bro. I went in so hard to the point where I put them on my will. I had a meeting with my kids. I said, how y'all feel about scoot y'all over? I scoot over a little slide and let somebody else get a little bit of it. And, you know, my kids are amazing. They're my best friends. And they was down with it. So I moved a little space over and added her son in on my motherfucking wing. You ain't even my son for real. Right. You know what I mean? Wow. Yeah, that has to take a toll. I put her in my wheel as well too. Yeah. You was just my girlfriend. You ain't even my wife. I hope
that's foolish on his part. What in the world? No way. I seen something on YouTube, men talking about they holding their money till marriage. Yes, that's what you should be doing so that you can't be manipulated by vagina, coerced into spending your money, thinking you're going to get vagina. Absolutely. I absolutely agree that men should hold their money until marriage. That is his fault. That she giving her wife benefits and she ain't your wife. What in the world? You put her on the will, you put her kids on the will, that ain't your wife? Lord, that's his part. That's his fault. He was a fool for that. If she ain't worth marrying, I'm sure ain't finna give her the rights to my belongings. he a fool for that. I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him because she must have figured like this man is a damn fool. So I'm gonna take him for all he got. Well, my mother-in-law be saying, find a sucker and bump his effing head. And that's what she did. He had clues. Yeah. Like, yeah, if he talking bad about the woman that she got fired as a CNA, she can't wipe tail, right? But you still dated her. If she was such a terrible person, you stayed with her. And again and again, people call themselves exposing other people, but all they do is expose themselves. And that's foolish. I do not recommend men spending money on all this money on women who either they don't plan to marry or aren't already married to. And this is why I am coaching people how to pray and ask the Lord for his guidance before hooking up with these people. Cause he trying to do some noble thing, taking this woman and her kids, putting them on his will and all this crap. Like, did you consult the Lord? Because I'm pretty sure the Lord would have let you know. No, stay away from that woman. This ain't what I have for you. That does not belong to you. But folks are not consulting with the Lord and then cry about the bad decisions they make when the consequences come to manifest. You didn't ask the Lord. You made decisions on your own selfish, your own whatever, your own desires, your own self-seeking, whatever. So you get what you get. This is why day one, go watch that. Day one of healthy dating habits. First thing, numero uno. Ask the Lord to give you guidance and wisdom and discernment before you even go out on a date with these people. We should not be allowing people into our lives without getting clear answers from the Lord. We should not. Absolutely not. This is how people get unalived. This is how people get set up like this brother just did. This is how people get robbed and abused and misused because they are making decisions on their own and what their eyes and ears are telling them and not listening to what God, and not even bothering to ask what God got to say. I don't know how many times I've had discussions with people like, did God tell you that was your wife? Did God tell you that was your husband? They're like, I didn't ask. You didn't ask God? And you Christian? That's bananas. That is absolutely bananas. Because what ends up happening is once you already done slept with the person, you already with them, now you don't want to know. You don't want to know the truth. Because if God says, no, it ain't your person, then you got to break it up. Then you got to break it off with them. And if the Lord says, yes, that's your person, then you start considering all the baggage they come with. So folks would just rather be blind and move according to, I don't know what. Move according to whatever however they feel in the moment, not according to anything sustainable. Trent said, I wish the media wasn't something that tells all the business. People just have to go on there. Yeah, they do. They have to. They just got to. It's no other way. Like they have nothing else they can do, I guess, but go on there and tell the business. But the thing is, they think to most people, he would probably look like a victim and everybody would probably be like, oh, F that woman, she a gold digger, whatever. I read between the lines. When you call yourself exposing somebody else, what does it say about you being with that person? So, and just like Fat Joe, he was talking about how when you go on these reality shows, these couples go on these reality shows and they see how the relationship functions, and you got everybody else's opinions about, oh, he don't let him do that to you. She shouldn't be like that. And it's like I tell my kids, if you're willing to accept a behavior in a person, don't complain about it. If you're willing to accept a person's habits, how they live, how they talk, if you're willing to accept it, don't complain about it. There's no reason to make yourself out to be a big victim if you're willing to tolerate it. Because, who you trying to make look bad? Anybody paying attention, you're only making yourself look bad. I'm saying, well, they do this and they have this problem. I watched Divorce Court, and this chick and this they weren't together. They had already broken up, and she trying to tell the judge, he already got kicked out of the courtroom, And she was trying to tell the judge, she started telling the judge, well, he would be so comfortable around family members passing gas, and he would act like he didn't know where it came from, and it would be him. So what a man said, they be wanting slaves, not partners. Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's a lot of people want slaves and not partners. Because one of the things I want to teach people is service is the highest form of leadership. And that would not resonate with a lot of people. A lot of people would hate that because they want to be served. Most people don't want to have to serve anyone, which is why so many relationships fail. Because everyone's so focused on what you're doing for me, for me, for me. And, this brother sound like he was trying to do for the woman, but is it for the right woman? Is it for the right woman? Is this the woman God called for you to do for? Everybody want to do for the wrong person. And then when they get done dirty, then they want to stop being generous and stop being serving because they don't want to get hurt again, instead of it being like, let me serve who God called me to serve. That's going to be you're going to be serving people in marriage. If you have children, you're going to be serving them. If you're at a job, you're serving the people at your job. And a lot of people don't like service, which is why we got such bad fast food service, because people at these jobs and don't want to serve. Service is the highest form of leadership. Jesus did it. Jesus said it. Said the one serving is the highest among you. That's what Jesus said. And I believe it because Jesus came to serve. But so many of us do not have that mindset. We want to be served. And I think once people get out of that mindset and realize that marriage, my focus is getting people ready for marriage. I think the more people realize that marriage is about serving each other, not just the man, not just the woman serving the man, and not just the man serving the woman, we should be serving each other. I think the more people that get that concept and live it, I think more marriages will last. More people would be able to experience blissful marriages. I believe it's absolutely possible, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts, comments. That's all I really have for today. But yeah, make sure you join the link you see scrolling at burningheartscoaching.com/hot holy dating challenge. And watch the Lord show up and show out for you in 30 days. Catch me tomorrow for day 2 of the challenge. I'm going to be giving some more secrets to what's kept me married for almost 20 years. So take advantage of it. Sign up for the community. Those links are in the description. Yeah, pray for each other. Pray for yourselves. Pray before you go out on a date with anybody. Pray before you make a friend with somebody. Lord, is this somebody you want in my life? Lord, if not, show me. Intervene. So that's what the first day one goes over. So watch that. Leave your comments. I know it's a kind of little dry. I'll get better. I have to write notes so that I don't forget stuff. So that's it for today. Thank you all for watching, and get involved with this 30-day challenge. I know the Lord is going to expose himself to you, reveal himself to you. He absolutely will if you just take the time and ask the right questions. He will answer you in his time, but he will answer. But pray every day, all day, and keep flying with the Most High. And catch me Friday, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back at it. I love you guys. Bye.